going to show you two photos that are very special to me. This is my son, Emmanuel. Emmanuel is now 13 years old. And this is my daughter, Birdie Claire. When Emmanuel was a month old, we were able to bring him into our home. We adopted him. Fast forward almost a year later, we'd gotten a call in the middle of the night about this little girl that was about to be born, and they didn't have a place to put her, a family to bring her to. And so my wife and I really thought, we got to pray about this, but we have 4 kids already. We just adopted a little boy less than a year ago. He's still a baby. So I don't know how we can bring another child in our home. The next morning we told the adoption agency, we'll pray about it, we'll think about it, we'll go see her, but probably not going to do this. The next morning my wife and I are getting ready in the bathroom to go see this little girl, getting dressed and getting ready. And my son, Emmanuel, crawls into the bathroom and looks up at me with these beautiful brown eyes and smiles. And I just felt this feeling of going, he's brought us so much joy. How could we not do this again? And so we went to the hospital to see this little girl that I was pretty sure we weren't going to adopt. And I saw her right away and I said, that's my daughter. We're taking her home. We took her home the next day. And our lives have been blessed ever since. Adoption is such a beautiful thing. Our family has been changed for the better because of it. In the Old Testament days, there was actually a law that if you were a parent and your children weren't living to the standards that you wanted them to, you could actually divorce your children. You could just write out a certificate, I'm not responsible for these children anymore. But if you adopted a child, that you couldn't go by that law. There was nothing you could do to cast that child out of your family once you adopted them. And so when Paul writes in Ephesians, you have been adopted into God's family, that's what he meant. What Paul wrote, so much more than our Western minds know, Paul was saying there is nothing you can do to be outside of God's family now. There's nothing that you can do for him to push you away. That deepness of God's love for us and how Emmanuel, my adopted son, that there's this deep thing that's different than you have with your biological children. If anyone out there is considering adoption, of course, it's a big move. It's a big life-changing thing. So it's not something to rush into. It's something definitely to pray about, talk to other people who have adopted, to talk to them about, because it's just like having a child. Even a biological child is not just some easy thing. It is, there's a lot of struggles, there's a lot of hard times, but there's a lot of beauty and a lot of love in there as well. And so that's my encouragement to you. Keep praying, go have conversations with people who have adopted, and think about how God can change your life through adoption.